It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our play. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Last we left off, the strange crew of wayward adventurers had come together, met themselves a group helmed by Sir Bertrand Bell, then lost Sir Bertrand Bell, went searching for vengeance on the one that took his life. Through the right questions, the right contacts, located the abode of this strange, dark, seemingly corrupted dwarf, and managed to, indeed, find vengeance for him. Upon returning and giving this information to Lord Eric's Esteros, he, one, thanked you for doing so, paid you a bounty that he felt was necessary and right given the circumstances. Mentioned that he was still working on a few of the requests that were made of the group, but was making headway and should have updates some point in the near future. And you were then where we left off, heading out into the night air of the city of Drusar to rest your wounds and whatever else events you wish to utilize to wind down after a very, very long day. Alrighty. You all eventually head to the familiar interior of the Spire by Fire, where the familiar burning hearth on the far end of the now bustling interior and the sounds of laughter and conversation greet you.
So, we're going to play a little game that I learned a few years ago.
Ooh, I like games.
It's called, or at least what we call it is, what the fuck is up with that?
All right. Okay.
Lowest roll has to answer a question truthfully and not too vaguely.
Oh.
Highest roll gets to ask it.
Ooh.
And then we drink.
Are we going?
Yep.
What do? We just roll?
We roll.
Roll.
We're just rollies? 4.
I think you're going to answer.
16.
15.
10. 7.
5.
10.
Shit.
Wait, who's answer? You're asking?
Don't speak.
You're close. Very fancy.
That is a statement, yes.
Keep them very clean.
True.
Almost as if you come from wealth. What the fuck is up with that?
Don't know what you mean. I am but a humble bard.
I've never seen a bard in that nice of clothes.
Yes. My family has some money, yes.
Are you a lord?
Lord's a broad term.
Are you a prince?
Oh, no, I am certainly not. That's a broad term, Prince.
It really is.
Wait, are you maybe a prince? It's less official than that. Let's say I'm second in line to a very prominent family with a lot of money that you have probably never heard of.
Why are you uncomfortable to talk about your family like this? It seems like you'd be proud to come from a fabled noble tradition.
I'm proud of my family. My family is full of good people. But sometimes it's not enough.
What do you mean?
It's good to be good. It's fine to be good. It's fine to do all the things that are expected of you, but my life is my life, and I would rather be here with you drinking this diarrhea water look booze than to be with my family, even though they are good, nice, wealthy people.
So if I may, expectations were put on you and you're sort of going your own path to forge a personal identity apart from them?
Sounds cliche when you put it that way.
No, I'm just
no, not exactly. More like expectations I put on myself that I would never be able to fulfill within my family. So, I found it easier to be on my own. And have been for a while, until I realized on your own isn't quite as fun as I thought it would be. It's better with friends.
To Dorian.
Oh, I've already had two, thank you. Water,
Prince
please.
Dorian. Wow, a real life.
Has a nice room. I've never known a prince before.
Dorian.
Okay, so I'm asking the questions to you.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, this is just a very simple question. Have you ever been in love before?
You have to end it with,
Oh.
What the
fuck is up with that?
what the fuck is up with that?
That was so good. Have I ever been in love before? I thought I was in love before, but I don't know if I ever actually was.
Would you care to elaborate?
Sometimes it is very easy to misconstrue friendship for love, lust for love. It's very amorphous. I have a hard time defining it to begin with. I've had a group of friends before. That's what I'll say.
What were they called again?
That counts.
Nobodies.
The nobodies.
The Nobodies.
We all grew up together. We all kind of had a shit time. And it was a nickname that stuck. And we thought it was kind of fucking funny.
Shall we?
Oh. No.
Fuck balls.
Balls.
19
that's
over here.
Oh,
cocked.
2.
One.
4.
But I already went, so it's up to...
Oh, it's
Yeah.
me? Ooh, so you
So-
need to ask her?
If we're doing this, some people have a great regret in their life. What the fuck is up with that? What's yours?
Oh, wow. I do have some regrets, and I guess some of them I don't know how comfortable I feel like talking about yet. I'll drink more.
I don't mean to pry, but this has also been bugging me. What did y'all come to town to do?
Yeah, what the fuck is up with
What
that?
the fuck is up with that?
Well, a lot of that is not my story, but we came here to visit this beautiful place and to meet up with some friends of Orym and to check out how great this town is.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm
What the fuck is up with that?
I guess I'm not very good at answering questions.
How does it feel when you steal something?
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is up with that?
I just like having things, and where I come from in my bedroom, I keep all of my trinkets everywhere that I've taken from all of my travels.
what's your bedroom look like?
Oh, it's just beautiful. I have a large window that I would look out of every day, and just decorated so beautifully. And I lived with my grandmother.
Wow.
Okay, well, who's next?
17.
16.
Unless someone's got higher.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Actually.
All right.
And I'm
You don't need to play rollies with me in order to ask me a question.
Oh, I know, but I'm just going to take advantage of it. Okay. You had to give over your father's name for collateral. What is going to happen?
I mean, I got a good feeling off of the people in there. Like, they didn't strike me as the type that would just go out and destroy my life for no reason. So unless we do something horrible to them, I don't think we have much to worry about.
All right.
I hope.
Do you feel like you tend to get a good reading off people, or are you a poor judge of character? Or?
Well, it's funny when, you're actively blocking out their thoughts. If you let it down for a second, you can get the true nature of people pretty fast. So, I'm not feeling too worried.
All right.
About my dad. Plus, he's, why would they go after him, So,
Do you think he's doing well? I know we left in kind of a hurry.
yeah. You know, it was probably a long time coming. He was probably happy that I'm gone. And he might be doing a bit better now that I'm not there.
What the fuck's up with
I
that?
feel like there's some context necessary
Yeah,
for this.
what happened? You have a falling out with your pa?
No, my dad's great. And he tried, you know, when things started happening, and I wasn't like that growing up, you know, I didn't have all of this. I don't know why it started. It was hard for him, you know, because I didn't want to be around very many people. And he just kind of, he distanced himself because he knew it made me more comfortable. And, you know, the people in town started talking, and I think he tried to distance himself socially as well for a while to try to, you know, not his fault, totally, you know.
Was that very lonely for you?
It was for a while. Yeah. But it was really bad there for a while. You know, when Londa came to town, it was the first time I'd really felt any peace for a long time. So, yeah.
How long have you guys been traveling together?
Just 2 years.
Yeah, just over 2 years now. Drinks?
I'm satisfied. All right. Oh, God, keep rolling right in the middle.
9.
9.
13.
Ooh.
Ooh, someone's
Here
getting
we go. Here we go.
What are you doing in town? What are you trying to get done? What the fuck is up with that?
That's what
Turn
you
the
really wanna
screws.
know.
I'm on a bit of a fact-finding mission, I guess. I represent my home,
Shari.
right? And somebody fucked with my home. And I'm here because some breadcrumbs maybe are leading here.
To the person responsible for messing with your home?
Maybe. Just there's rumors on the wind of similar trouble here. Maybe. And I've just been sent to sort of sniff it out.
We can help if
Yes.
we know what to look for.
In fact, I'm not sure what our next plans are.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should keep that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Follow-up question. Can I stop telling people we're on vacation?
Double rollies.
Double rollies.
3.
16.
Oh, I got a 20. I have a question.
Sounds legit.
Yeah,
It
that's
was a
legit.
20. It is a 20.
I've traveled a decent amount. Probably not as much as some. One time, I met someone sort of like you.
Really? Where was that?
Someone visited home,
Oh.
but they were nothing like you. And I'm just still kind of blown away. I don't know what I'm asking. I don't know how old you are. I don't know how you came to be. Are the people, are the others that you talked about, oatmeal and pussy, are they the only ones
And
you
apple
ever
pie.
knew? And apple pie,
Oh, and
sorry.
apple pie, that's right.
Are they the only ones like me I ever knew?
Yeah, or are there more? Or where do you come from? And what the fuck is up with that?
Well, it up. I,
Stop it.
Shot.
I,
Uh-oh.
What's happening?
that,
Is this how he dodges questions?
no, not at all.
Are you okay?
I just don't,
You have no memory.
Dancer created me.
I asked too much. Do you know how old you are?
I was with Dancer for almost 2 years. So 2?
All right.
Okay.
Does he power down ever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sleep
I
mode. Sleep mode.
Go into a stasis state.
Yeah.
When you're in sleep mode, do you dream?
Ooh.
Good question.
Whoa. Is it oatmeal?
You know what? I don't think I've ever dreamed yet. But then again, maybe I haven't. I just don't know what it's like. Dreaming is, I've heard y'all soul-touched folks talk about it. It's like memories and stuff that you have at night, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why I would have one, but I don't see any reason why I would not. I just haven't yet, I don't think.
Maybe you should intentionally shoot for it. Like sometimes you can, like before you go into stasis, just have an intention.
I can do that tonight.
I think it's a great idea.
If you ever have a dream, let us know.
Yeah.
Rollies.
Rollies.
Rollies
Ask the
for
last
final
one.
question. I rolled a 19.
Oh.
Do it.
Yeah, you probably got a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's really, I don't know much about you, Laudna, at all.
You can ask me anything.
All right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Are you dead? What the fuck is up with that?
Right to the quick.
I think I'm like some cross in between life and death. Not
What?
not totally alive, but
Like what
not
happened?
totally dead. Well, I definitely died.
Wait, okay.
What are
And
we
then I just
talking about?
Well, okay.
No,
you just tell your story.
Pass the bottle down.
died, and then I woke up. I woke up and I was surrounded by a lot of other corpses, and all of Whitestone was just in a complete panic, run amok, just death and disease and nightmare everywhere. And I didn't know what happened, so I ran. But yeah, I haven't really aged.
How long ago was that?
30 years.
Time ago.
30 years!
Do you remember anything about your previous life?
Oh yes.
Oh, you do. Okay.
You're not you're not just an elf, or
No, I was a human.
how can you be dead?
And who brought you back and
Shit
how?
happens.
I always had innate magical capabilities when I was a young girl, and so I don't know. I think whatever happened in Whitestone on that night, I think I got hit with some sort of necromantic magic. It was like a blast. It just, I don't know, just kind of hit me. And then I was alive.
It's very
But here, look. I'm gonna grab. Can you feel things?
Yeah, sure.
You feel like a heartbeat every like 20 seconds.
Oh, you're very athletic.
Yes.
So your heart does beat.
It does, just very.
You have hopes. You have fears.
Mhm.
You have loves.
Of course.
Sounds like you're alive to me.
When you died, was everything at home good before everything went bad, or were things bad?
Oh, it was complicated. We were simple farmers on the outskirts of town and lived a very humble life. Didn't have a lot of money, and as such, my parents were a bit naive. They weren't really connected to the going-ons and the political specter of Whitestone, and I think I just kind of walked into a bit of a trap. They were wanting to give me a better life, and they knew that their daughter, with magical capabilities, could maybe go forth and become something more. Unfortunately, the stewards of Whitestone at the time had different opinions.
Do your parents know what happened to you?
They're dead.
These people in Whitestone, the stewards you said,
Yes.
they killed you?
Mm-hmm. The Briarwoods.
Briarwoods.
Mm-hmm.
We should find them and...
Oh, they're gone. They're long dead, too.
Oh.
One of them kind of pops in my head, though, every now and then.
What's that mean? What?
Say that again.
What?
Voices in my head.
Oh, kind of like Imogen.
It's different.
Kinda.
I think It's why we bonded so quickly, and I think just whatever magical bond we have, it just works.
That's fucking great. That was a great fucking story.
That was a great
Am I
game.
good? Did I do it right?
Oh, killer.
That was
killer.
so good.
I think now we sleep this off and see how we feel in the morning.
You all find your various rooms to rest. Laudna, as you're starting to doze off a bit in that kind of bit of gentle quiet, you do hear a familiar whisper. It says, "Careful, dear. Some things are meant to be kept secret."
Oh, hello. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've heard from you. What have you been up to? Oh, come on, Dee, just tell me.
Please, just be careful.
I didn't say anything that's not like public knowledge. So back off.
That's the end of it.
Good night.
Fuck yeah.
Was she talking to you?
Yes, she's mad because I got chatty.
Has she ever done anything? If you get in trouble with her?
Have I gotten in trouble with her?
Yeah, I mean, I know she's been pissy before, but has it ever come to anything?
She'll sometimes,
Okay, cool.
Fuck.
be like, oh, I helped made you. You would be nothing without me. I can take what I can give. Blah, blah, blah. She does that sometimes, but she's never really done it. I don't know.
We gotta get into that institute.
I know. I can just keep strengthening my skills without her.
You won't need her.
I won't need her.
If she's listening.
Oh, she probably is. It's an excellent point, though. I've never really strayed far from her up until recently.
Right?
Well, I'll keep you posted if she starts getting aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, gathering your things, finishing a modest breakfast, you head over towards the Fate Walk Bridge, across to the Lantern Spire, and then following the familiar path that Ashen leads ahead of you once again, you head to the Elder Post tunnel system beneath into the early morning era of the Bazaar. Heading to the Root Trader, it is currently closed. It is not yet open this time.
Oh.
But you do, glancing through the somewhat cloudy glass windows, you do see some movement inside.
Oh.
There's a quiet pause. One of the curtains pulls aside, and on the other side you can see Heron, the feathered individual that led you into the interior, kind of glancing past this wide bird eye, like,
We've come to loosen the snare.
"Oh, it's so early." Goes and opens the door. Come on, fine. Lets you inside. Goes over and shakes awake somebody who's snoring loudly on one of the nearby kind of nicer, larger situations of bedding. And you can see it's Yash. All right, so you're back so soon. You're not dead, so I assume that Duggar has not quite done to you what he did to your friend.
He's dead.
Duggar's dead.
We've done to Duggar.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, very well done. That is, I'm not going to say that I didn't expect a different outcome, but congratulations.
We're as shocked as anybody, believe me. Broomstone, on the other hand, was not found.
I have no idea what Duggar was doing with Broomstone personally.
Seems like a dangerous thing to have running around the city, that's all.
It's dangerous, but it's also worth a lot of money on black markets for people who want to, depending on what its uses are. That is a very controlled element. And I assume that it's probably sought after, is the common phrase for, by probably arcanists and engineers.
Well, we've done a bit of a favor for you, whether you asked for it or not. I think one thing we're hoping for here is that we're in a little bit better standing.
Yeah, no, we'll stop following you. We're good.
Our collateral?
Nothing will come of your collateral unless you do something to fuck us over.
All right. That's what I figured.
I have no interest in hunting down fathers. Unless you fuck us over. But until then, like, do not worry about it. If we're friendly, we're friendly. It is perfectly okay.
Do you have a relationship with Lord Esteros?
No, we have not had the pleasure of speaking with the inheritor of the Prudage estate.
But you know who he is.
It's hard not to know. I mean, there's plenty of odd rumors about that strange old coot. Some folks, at least, have reason to believe that maybe he actually killed his previous employer. Others believe that the reason nobody ever sees him is because he hides a dark secret. He never leaves. He never goes into public eye. He stays in his house and just sends out other sentinels and mercenaries and hired hands to do his bidding, to do his work.
That's us, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a creepy, lonely old man with a lot of money. But who knows? Except for unless you do because you work for him, which, by the way, what can you spill?
Seems to have a better opinion of you than you do of him.
Seemed nice.
I don't have a negative opinion. I'm just curious.
Anyway, if you'd like us to set up a meeting or something, just let us know.
Is he interested in meeting?
Mm-hmm.
What would a strange recluse like him have any business with us for?
He certainly wouldn't tell us.
I get the impression that he wants to do good in this city, and he thinks that you also do.
I think anyone who lives a life of inherited money wants to do good. Well,
Not everyone with money is bad, just some.
many.
I do believe he does want to do good. But that's just my belief. I could be wrong.
I am not against having a conversation with your wealthy patron. We just have to have some assurances. Understand that the person you speak of naturally is a little more aligned with those that we consistently work against.
Absolutely.
And you see now, like, the jovial nature of Yash begins to kind of become a little more of a cutting intensity. Money and influence in this city is a commodity that is passed around by a very small number of faceless members of the quorum. And we continuously want to find out who they are and expose them. And if it means taking every copper, silver, or gold to their name until they are forced to expose themselves to the public, we'll do it. So if your friend, this Lord Esteros, is keeping anything or anyone hidden that is in our sights, we will not hesitate to remove him from the equation. But if you trust him, and he seems genuinely interested, and is willing to meet on our terms, I'll think about it. Well, we'll find you when we have come to an accord, and are ready, if at all, to have such a conversation with your lord. I'm going to have some coffee. Points over to the hooded figure in the corner. He's like, goes and begins to pour some coffee. Anyone else? You said you wanted some?
I think we'll probably go.
Perfect. All right. Get the fuck out.
All right.
You make your path through the root trader back into the Elder's Post, which is still in the process of assembling itself for the day's business. But the city is yours.
Orym, you said the person you were looking for, they were wreaking havoc, they stole something? What are you also trying to track something?
No. Did I say that?
Like, I don't know. I'm trying to fill in the
I think
gaps.
so.
What was their name?
Brescio. Apparently also known as the Anger.
The anger you know of because whenever certain bar brawls that get very violent tend to happen, there's a phrase that's occasionally muttered by those that were around running these establishments 20, 30 years ago that says, don't be careful, you'll rouse the anger. This is a mercenary that was known to shut down any sort of bullshit that happened in public establishments, and anybody that began to break public property, they would be taken outside and beat.
Oh yeah, I would definitely know this fucking story.
Yeah.
No one entirely disappears. Somebody's got to know. There's somebody who owns a bar somewhere, or somebody who was a last hire.
But nothing concrete to start on.
It's been a decade.
Esteros thinks maybe he can make an introduction.
Back
Maybe.
to Esteros then?
Yeah, I mean, it's the next day, but I don't really know what else to do.
As you all begin to travel amongst the surface streets of Drusar, what is it you want to do?
Well,
Let's head to the Crook House. See who's around.
Following Ashton's lead, you head back to one of the, what is a new path for a lot of you, but is one of the number of familiar paths into the Fonzie Hollow, to the odd interior kind of social oubliette of the lightless hollow itself, climbing down the levels and layers and ladders until eventually you find the familiar exterior facade of the Crook House. You enter into the chamber. You see Aniata, who's currently in the process of looking through a book and has a mostly eaten sandwich in her left hand, and she goes like,
You can read?
"You can talk?"
Good morning.
Morning.
Annie, this is everybody. Annie, I think you've already briefly met.
Hey, don't take anything.
When was the last thing you heard about the anger?
Like the anger?
Like the anger. You know where they ended up?
I mean,
I can imply you're that old, but
I think he was hired by the Loomis twins.
what spire was that again? Oh,
Oh, that would be the Lucent Spire. That's where all them rich fucks live, but I mean it's getting up into the upper echelon.
we may have to see what we can do about that. Fuck.
You're not planning to go talk to them, are you?
Not personally, but
Good fucking luck.
I'm gonna go into my room.
As you glance into your chamber,
Yeah.
it's easy to catch your eye because your room is colorful disarray.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the Crook House in general. It is intentional, deliberate, tattered edges.
Got a lot
It's
of
kind of
reshuffle.
the colorful aesthetic of the interior. But a pristine wax sealed.
Props.
Is this ringing a bell?
The wax seal is familiar.
Narrate your own dreams.
oh,
Okay. I'm gonna put it in my pocket and come on in and
Everything okay?
yeah, maybe we'll see.
You
Give
look
me a minute.
shook.
Yeah, you look real.
Visibly shook.
We've got more information to bring to Lord
We
Estro.
got a question to ask. How can we get to meet the Loomis twins?
So head on up. All right, let's go.
You head to the familiar estate of Lord Nesteros there. Evelyn leads you in. Good morning, friends. Am I to be of service to you?
Well, first, we made second contact with the Corsairs. And it seems like there is some tentative interest in making your acquaintance.
How eager were they, if I might ask?
They seemed a little unsure.
Yeah, they don't like people with money, and you have it. So
is-
really, that's...
It is assuring. If they were too eager, that would spell ill intent.
based on the dynamics in play. Very well. Do you have a place where such an
They said it had
request-
to be on their terms.
And they would get back
Get
to
over
us.
it. Yes. They also said that they heard that you killed Madame Prudash.
Among other rumors that they did not know were true.
You see his face harden as he looks towards you.
Oh. Struck a nerve, that one.
Madame Prudash was an honorable, good-hearted woman. I spent the majority of my adult life protecting her. I would never, ever have harmed her.
Other than vague rumors, we do have some other things we could use some help with. The Loomis twins, do you know them? Do you have an opinion?
Goes and grabs the case that he was currently reading from when you arrived, and
Well, I had told your compatriot here, Orym, that I would look into making an arrangement, if I could, with Oshad. Unfortunately, while I can make the arrangement, Oshad is not in a place to meet at the moment. He is still recovering.
Recovering from what?
Oshad had been working as the bodyguard to the Loomis twins for quite some time. But not more than a handful of weeks back, there was an incursion at the Mahan Loomis, in which the twins were killed by an assailant or assailants. Oshad was heavily wounded and is currently still recovering.
I had some idea of this, but it's been some time. They must have been grievous, these wounds.
pulls out the paper and looks at it and kind of...
It seems to be grievous but treatable, and the anger has been asleep for a number of this recovery period. While occasionally conscious, is not yet ready to make conversation with those who are immediate family. But I will push back, and I assume, and gives you a glance, that this is not an entirely surprising reveal.
No. Then we don't need to press. Let them take all the time they need. I'm not going anywhere.
I will let them know that it is perhaps related then.
That would be deeply appreciated. I think in the meantime, we're content to wait on their recovery. But we're doing well together. And in the meantime, if there's anything that we can do to help you in your interests here in the city, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. We'd be happy to help.
I appreciate that. Well,
He thinks to himself for a moment.
barring this conversation with the Corsairs coming underway, whenever they reach out, at least keep an eye and ear open for their intent to communicate, since you are indeed the bridge between myself and them. Otherwise, there has been a series of mysterious disappearances surrounding the Dreamscape Theater.
Oh! Cool.
Patrons numbering no more than 4 over the past 6 months. have vanished, at least those that have been reported to the
Like
wild.
during shows?
I do not know the specifics. You will need to speak with Stuvan Idrio to likely find out more about this, but the wardens have been supposedly investigating this for a protracted period of time, but have, to no one's surprise, come up short. Well,
Do you think it would be possible to get that letter of recommendation for the Starlight Conservatory?
right. Yes, I can begin to draft that immediately.
Thank you.
My apologies for the delay,
Thank you so much.
of course.
Nice.
All right.
Shiny day to you.
Yep. We'll be
Yeah.
back tomorrow.
I feel like we're bouncing around like a pinball machine or something, right?
Well, we got options now.
Now we go to, well, what are the options?
Well,
Loomis twins are dead.
No option there.
Oshad is
theater.
still
Dreamscape
unconscious.
theater.
Yeah, should we go to the
So
theater?
what? What the fuck is up with that?
With
Which
what?
part?
Yeah, there was some sort of incursion.
Yeah, what does the anger have to do with you?
What the
Are
fuck
they
is
the
up with
ones
that?
that is up with that?
One question at a time.
Fuck that!
All right, not right here. Where can we go?
We'll just walk and talk.
Let's walk and talk to the theater.
Just all cram into Shadana's really quick. Have a quick convo.
Yeah, I mean, we're close by.
I'm in the
Yeah.
way.
Do you guys want to meet Shadana?
Oh, she's the best.
She's so sweet.
Very,
If she's
very
awake.
much so. Yes, I do.
You lead the rest of your troop towards the familiar abode that you've both been calling home for the past number of weeks that you've been staying here in the city. But here you can see there's a window that leads inside. It's warmly lit from the interior. The door is closed, but it has this kind of sweet, loved-in atmosphere to it.
Oh, Shadana!
Hold on.
Fried plantains.
We have company. Is it all right?
That's wonderful.
All right. A big group. Brace yourselves. Come in.
As you all walk in, you see this delightfully sweet smile on this elderly woman, darker, deep brown, tanned, wrinkled skin from just life and sun and vibrancy, gray, nearly white hair entirely that is right now just kind of let past the shoulders into this steadily spreading kind of boisterous tangle of hair that goes to about her mid-back.
Oh, well, it is an honor to have you in my home. I fear that we're out of beds.
No.
But we have room on the floor, and I can retrieve
Shadana.
some.
No, you're so sweet. We're just popping by for a moment.
Oh,
Just
well,
wanted to
I
introduce
just.
you.
Well, I was making lunch.
I'll help.
Oh, thank you so much. This way.
Orym, do you feel comfortable now telling us what you wanted to tell us?
We can go into our bedroom if that makes you feel better.
I think that's probably best.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So we're crammed in here. We're all having fruit cocktail. Everyone's got doilies. There's lace everywhere.
Dish
Let's
bish.
all right. So Orym would look out the window at the city.
There's no window.
There's nothing.
It's just
This is a
tiny
fucking
hole of a
globe
bedroom.
space.
All right.
You can look down into the hole if you want. That's the only thing.
Give me a minute.
Deep into the
Leave me
anus
alone.
of the city.
Then if there's no window,
Drama.
then Orym
A fireplace
looks-
mantle, maybe?
Yeah.
looks at Dorian and Fern for a second, and then to Imogen and says, "You probably would have caught this off of me, eventually, anyway. It's good. You already know where we're from, where I'm from. A number of years ago, an attack was made on the seat of power there. The attack came from out of nowhere and disappeared almost before it started. A few of those assailants were dropped. And they evaporated, melted before our eyes. That was years ago. Left more questions than anything else. And that's as much as I knew about it for years. Until recently. This gets a little tricky. A friend to the Ashari in Whitestone heard a rumor from a friend.
All right.
With me so far?
Uh-huh. Friend.
Who
West.
traveled here.
Heard a rumor. Traveled here. All right.
Friend of Brescio's. Spoke with Brescio. Whatever the attack Esteros made reference to was similar.
Oh. So you heard of this attack? Came out here?
More or less. I didn't hear anything. This is above my pay grade.
So who sent you to find out?
I was sent by the leader in my home. The voice of the Tempest.
So your leader was not one of the people that was killed in this attack?
No, very few were.
Oh, okay.
And it was fast. Anyway, word got back that something happened here. Maybe similar. And I've already been afield for a while and was called home, and I brought Fern and Dorian with me, and they sent us here to sniff it out. That's the whole story.
The people that attacked your village were... What were they after, do you know? Who did they target?
Our leader.
But they didn't succeed.
No. And there's some question, some debate whether it was a legitimate attempt or maybe a test run, but years have gone by since this happened. I'd put it largely out of my mind. Tried to anyway. And now, 5-6 years later, this rumor came back to my people, and we're just seeing it through.
Do you know anyone who died on that day?
Absolutely.
Tragic.
This was how many years ago?
6 years ago.
This happened in your town, in Ashari.
Zephyra, yes.
So these attacks may be related. There's someone out on the loose who wants to kill Ashari leaders as well as Drusari leaders.
Ooh.
Well, thank you for telling us. But unfortunately, I don't know that changes our trajectory very much, does it?
No.
Well, here's my feeling is we've put the word out. Plenty of people now know what we're looking for, so I figure that trouble's going to find us one way or another. And in the meantime, we have a lead. And we have a theater.
So should we get out of this old person's bedroom?
All right. Let's go.
Where are you heading to?
Let's see if there's tickets to the theater.
On the way out, I'm just gonna give Shadana 20 gold.
Oh, Imogen, this is far too much. This is... Please, I don't even know what to do with this.
I'm gonna tuck it away in her knitting supplies. I'm gonna
All right. Now, you know exactly, so you have not been a patron of it in a long time at all.
I go to a show on occasion.
Yeah. As Ashton brings you around, it's on the opposite side of the core spire where a majority of the main streets are here. Already, you can see the 3-story, almost pagoda-esque display of this scalloped, multi-tiered roof that is covered in dangling, magically lit baubles that just kind of swing with the wind. And as they glow, even bright enough that in the mid-bright jungle daylight, they still can't help but catch your eye as you turn the corner and see the deep crimson, purple trim set roof that sets this tiered rising structure. And there upon it, you can see all manner of posters that are placed upon each level. And you can see a neighborhood that consists of earth tones and muted colors, and in the middle of it is this screaming gem of a structure that's saying, "Come and look at me!" This is the Dreamscape Theater.
Is there a ticket booth? Ticket window?
As you, not like a window at the exterior, this is not a classic theater.
Just asking a question.
But glancing inside, you can see there are 2 individuals that are dressed in what looks to be similar attire that is like long black, almost like drapery-like robes that like fall off the mantle and cover most of their material, almost like most of their form. It looks almost like it's a long dress that essentially obscures most of their body. Beyond their hands, what looks to be a little bit of gold trim around it that matches what you can see inside of the main kind of antechamber that leads deeper into the theater and the actual main performance chamber. Similar kind of black aesthetic with gold trim around it. And you can kind of at a glance see there is a familiar uniformed connection between them. You see to the right of you a human woman, probably in her early 40s.
Oh, yes, hello. Is this where you purchase tickets for the show?
If you have not already purchased a ticket for the afternoon, a matinee performance, you may purchase them here, yes.
Okay, how much are they?
Where do you wish to sit? There are 3 sections of which you can purchase. Seats are available. The matinees are not quite as busy this day. But if you would like the front stage seating arrangement, that would run about 10 gold per seat. If you prefer the kind of middle region of it, about a gold per seat. And if you would like the challenged back seats, those will run you about 2 silver seats.
Are there any seats like box seats that overlook the rest of the audience as well?
There are, but I believe they are currently sold out for the matinee. My apologies.
Are you sure they're sold out? And I'm gonna reach into my coin purse and I'm gonna pull out 10 platinum.
Oh! Wait a minute. How much fucking money do you have? You have 10 fucking platinum?
All right. You pull out 10 platinum, and he looks at you strangely, and then his eyes go wide.
Oh, I'm sorry. There must have been a mistake. There is indeed availability within the left box seating arrangements that, of course, immediately at your disposal.
Big mistake. Huge.
You work on commission?
Thank you so much for your help. And I'm gonna shake his hand with him.
You're gonna give him you're giving him 10 platinum for that?
Yes.
You're giving him 10. Okay.
It is indeed my absolute pleasure. And do not worry, we will handle and take care of everything that you and your compatriots would need for the evening.
Evening or afternoon? Did you get matinees or evening ticket?
Right now.
Right now, matinee.
Is there...
Yeah, we'll say. Look at that. It's sunset. Early sunset.
We had a very nice lunch.
The night comes on fast here.
It's a jungle, you're right on the equator.
Who's playing?
Kendra's Flying Lauders.
Kendra's flying.
What was that last word?
Lauders.
I really love your jacket.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try to take the 10 platinum out of his mouth.
Whoa.
Make a sleight of hand.
My God.
I love them.
Oh, God.
Dirty 20.
Oh,
As you lean in and kind of like grab the ropes.
Lovely lapel.
Hello, Siron. Could you please show our guests to the lower right box, as they are our esteemed guests and patrons for the night?
Lower right box, huh?
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
You see as a dragonborn comes from through the curtain. Looks like an older dragonborn, like the scaled brows are droopy on the eyes a bit, and the snout kind of drags a bit. It's kind of like dark blue scales that kind of go to like a lighter blue at the tips of the snout. And kind of comes through and says, "Okay, I'll show you to your box."
Thank you.
And kind of like shuffles past and leads you on, wearing a similar garb, though shorter, not quite as long as the halfling as you pass by. You do recover 6 platinum.
Okay. I wasn't going to take all of it. Of course. So this is good. Okay.
You all are led to the box. There's like a small door off to the side that leads you to a staircase that leads you into the lower box where you're situated before it passes on to the upper level.
Enjoy the show.
And kind of closes the curtain behind him as you all stand there. The stage is lit, though empty, with the curtain closed at the moment.
Orym,
You guys are actually really good seats. You're just above stage level on the left-hand
Never
side.
had seats this good for anything.
The dragonborn usher that brought you here kind of comes through the curtains once more. I'm terribly sorry. There is a patron who wishes to speak with you.
Well, patron. Sure. Where, or
Just below.
bring them up?
Unless you want to go alone.
No, I don't.
I'll go ask her.
I do not know who would know me here, but I will say this. As our friend said, we are very conspicuous, and I saw someone from the Corsairs
what?
here following us.
How do you know?
I saw them. We saw them before.
A few moments pass, and you can see where people are filtering in, finding their seats. You begin to see a handful of musicians that are beginning to head over towards the front of the stage into a small pit up front, until eventually the usher returns again.
The patron is wishes to speak with you alone.
Just a moment.
Of course.
guess you gotta go.
Sending stone?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I toss you the sending stone anyway.
You head down the stairs a little bit after the usher's already left, and as you're heading down the stairway, make a perception check for me.
I don't like this at all.
I don't either.
What if this is how people get taken?
Well, 5.
5. As you're about to leave the staircase into the open light of the arrangement, you feel a hand grab your chest from the side, a person who was kind of hiding in the shadow there that you didn't notice, who just kind of holds you there. And a voice goes, "What are you doing?"
We're just here to see a show.
"No, what are you doing?"
We're searching for. We heard someone was missing here.
You look up and you can see like the gauntleted hand of the leather-clad individual, the hood just barely visible from the light that's creeping through from beyond the curtain from the main chamber itself, holding you there. Pulls the hood back, and you can see there's the square jaw and kind of wavy mop of shoulder-length black hair with the gold septum-piercing, sea glass green eyes of the burly, familiar visage of Cyrus Wyvernmind.
Oh, what was that? What?
Who goes, "What are you doing?"
I'm on my own. Let go of me, and I'm gonna push his hand away.
"We need to talk."
Here now?
"Soon."
How are you here? How did you get away?
Same way you did.
No. Mother. Father, what are they doing without you?
I don't know. I just followed your lead. And he looks down at you. Your taller brother. Maybe we are meant to wander, I don't know. And his hand reaches out, and this time less aggressively, but just kind of presses it against your chest and says, "We'll talk."
We should.
After.
All right.
Then he just goes through the curtain back into the main room.
I'll take a minute to collect myself and give it a second, however long I think it would take. And then I'll go back upstairs. Shake it off, and I'll pull back the curtain to our booth. Just a lot of nothing. Someone who'd seen me play at a... well, I told you I'm from here. They saw me play and saw me up in the seats, and they were wondering if I was part of the show, if I knew anyone. It's just an old patron.
You're famous.
No. Well, I guess so, if someone's recognized me from that far away. Thanks.
Pretty cool.
Appreciate it. Anyway, I'm so excited for the show.
At this point, you start hearing the different instruments beginning to warm up a bit, begin to play. The interior of the room, the chatter and laughter and whispers and the sounds of an audience growing impatient begins to subside as the music begins to swell. As the lights begin to brighten from those two platforms, an arcane beam of magical sunlight emitted onto the stage from above, onto the curtain, as the room falls into silence, beyond the music playing, as you all adjust to your positions and look out over. Dorian, you just can't help but be lost in thought. As we finish there, quick.
Damn it.